years I've been working hard on this music.
Ice Creame is a hustler who was once described as a money addict. She did business on the streets of New York, and this was the second time she was shot.
They took me to the hospital and they pulled them out, and my hip was fractured. And I was like, okay, I had a cast from here, and it was summertime.
By this time, you're shot 4 times?
No, 3.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, 3, including this made 4.
Right.
And I had a body cast that was out of this world. I thought I was going to boil. And it got to the point where I went to, I was going to say True Value. I went to Home Depot and bought a handsaw and just, and took it off.
Took it off yourself?
Yeah, I couldn't take it. I didn't even pay for the saw. I plugged it in the store, and I just, and the people was like, hey, you can't do that, Johnny. And she's I'm like, shut up. And I'm like, hey. And, I almost went to jail for that, too. Yeah, I'm a trip. And anyway, I got it off, cut my pants off, and I was half naked in the pee. I didn't care. Yo, has anyone ever had a broken limb in the summer with a cast? Do you know how annoying you're trying to itch? You got antennas and big pitchforks, and you're like, and oh my God. And not to mention, my hand was in the cast too, because it broke. So right. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, and I'm telling strangers, could you help me? And people are looking at me like, what is this weirdo? I had to cut it off. So finally, okay. I didn't learn my lesson from that either.
But you couldn't walk?
I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do it. No, I had some nice crutches they gave me.
Yeah.
So I got around, and I had this hand like, okay, I had a cast like from here to here. And it was made out of fiberglass. Yeah. And it was cool. So I was like, all of this was all right. But it's just right here was gone. And I just used to like lean in one and go, yo, how many you want? Don't buy from him, buy from me. And they used to be like, yo, you crazy, go lay down.
You're selling crack on crutches. So did it bring more customers because of the condition you're in?
They used to help me home, and I played it. I used to be like, oh, I didn't sell nothing today. And if you looked at my cast, I had about 20 grand. I didn't sell nothing today. You ain't gonna buy from me. Look what happened to me because of y'all. This is because of you guys. Yo, you better buy this. And they used to be like, yo, go lay down. I used to be like, yo, be easy. Just how much you want? Come here. And, oh, man. Anyway, eventually that came off, and whew.
It came off, but you were in a wheelchair, weren't you?
No, not then. That wasn't the wheelchair time. Now I go to jail for something I actually did. And I was
Same crack?
Yeah, it was drug related. And I was sent, my mom hired a lawyer, because I lied. Mommy, I didn't do it. They're lying. And a mother's love is the greatest love besides
No, but when you were
God.
giving her all that money to put away, did you start giving her the money to put away
No,
yet?
I was giving it to her for my daughter.
Yeah, but didn't she ask where you were getting it from?
She still didn't touch that money. She used her life savings.
No, but didn't she ask you where it came from when you gave it to her to put
she
down?
told me it's the dope.
It's the dope? Oh,
yeah,
she tell
me quick.
Oh.
If I gave my mother a quarter, she'd tell me it was drug money.
Income. Okay.
Yeah, she didn't want it. She didn't want to have nothing to do with it. She threw it in a bag and stuffed it somewhere. And now I'm in jail and I'm going to court, and I'm really going to jail. I'm starting to see life for what it is. And by now I'm used to jail. I mean, I go to jail, everybody's like, yo, what's up, Ice? I'm like, yo, what up, B? Yo, give me some cigarettes. Give me a goodie bag. Yo, I know you got an extra blanket. And everybody's like, yeah, jail is like a joke in America. You get food, you get cable. You get it, yo, you play basketball, lift weights, you have fun. Yo, what's up? Yo, it's my phone, be easy.
So it's like a chilling place.
Yeah.
You just go to chill and then you back the streets on. Okay.
There's none of that craziness you see on TV for the women. It's not like that. Now, the guys are a different story. But, yeah, so now I was sentenced to 2.5 to 5 years. I thought I was going to die. That's a long time for me and my street. I didn't have to worry about my daughter because my mom's going to bring her to see me. I'm like, I can't sell drugs in jail. And a little light bulb went off in my head. Yes, you can. So I'm like, all right, cool. All it took was for me to see one person smoking a joint in the yard. And I was like, how'd you get that? And they was like, yo, tell them to put it in the watch. And I'm like, yeah, tell me some more. And next thing you know, everybody's looking for, yo, you seen Ice? Yo, Ice, give me 2 joints. Now, a joint in jail is like 3 packs of cigarettes. So I was like, whoa, oh man, I had it locked down. I had cigarettes, cookies, you name it, I had it, just for some weed. So I didn't learn nothing then either. It wasn't no punishment. The same thing my mother told the judge. How you gonna send her to jail? It's not punishment for her. She like that. You know, my mother said, send her somewhere else.
But you ended up spending 7 years.
Yeah,
Why?
because, okay, my first few weeks in jail, there was this real big girl. I mean, I thought it was a guy. This girl is the biggest woman I ever seen face to face in my life. And she's like always looking at me, but she never say nothing, so I never said nothing. Now in jail you get like details to do. Like I'll be on the house gang. House gang is you gotta keep this wooden floor shined enough for the officer to see their face in it. So I got that duty. So one day I'm mopping the floor and she come walking on the floor. So I'm like, oh boy. I'm not gonna say nothing to this girl. This is a big girl. I ain't saying nothing. No, you walk all you wanna walk, girl. But see, after the mop, no lie, the mop head is about this big.
Oh, it's a big heavy duty
The mop
industrial
is 20
mops.
pounds.
The industrial mops.
And when you swing like this, you see your muscles going bloop. And you're like, what? I'm not doing this. Are you crazy? And I'm like, all right. And I'm mopping, and she walked on the floor like 8 times for no reason. So I stopped. I said, Miss. Now I'm looking, just you see how I'm looking right now? I'm like, Miss, could you please stop walking on the floor? I'm tired of swinging this mop. My name not Harpo. Like that. And she was like, don't tell me nothing. I'll punch you in your face. I was like, okay. I said, all right. I'm saying, I ain't no punk. I'm telling you, I ain't no punk in the street. I ain't going to jail to be no punk. And this is all I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So I said, all right. I mopped again. I went to the officer. Now, I'm not a snitch. But they tell you, you know, you go to jail the first time, you're going to read their little rule book and try to do it right. I said, officer, somebody keep walking on the floor. Could you please announce on the loudspeaker to stop walking on the floor until I finish mopping? Officer said, get out of here. I was like, all right. He said, mop it again. I said, all right. And I mopped it again. I'm dunking the mop. She walked on the floor again. I said, you know what? I put the mop down now. You got metal mop buckets. I took the ringer out of the mop bucket. I said, didn't I just, boom, tell your ass to stop walking on my floor? And she fell down, and then all I could hear her say is, I'm going to beat your ass. And I said, you won't. And I just kept hitting her. And the officer stood there a good 3 minutes in shock. And she pulled, they have pins that they pull, and the alarm goes off, and the goon squad come. That's when they come and beat your ass. Let me tell you something. I had wished that I didn't hit that girl with that thing when they finished with me. But I tried to kill her. Literally, I tried. I don't know what happened. It's like for every wrong thing in my life, she caught it. And when I was finished, and I dropped, I was like, wow, look what you made me do. I told you not to walk on the floor. And then I just sat there, and they came, and they grabbed me, and they beat me, and they dragged me, and they pulled me, and threw me in the box. Boom. About 2 months in the box, they came, they said, get dressed, you're going to court. I was like, cool, my case is finished, I'm sentenced. They said, oh no, you got a new case. You got an attempted murder charge. I said, what? That girl ain't nothing wrong with that girl. Let me tell you something. They took me to court and they showed a picture of the girl to my lawyer. And the lawyer got the picture and showed. I said, wow. I didn't mean to do that.
What did it?
Yo, they had to reconstruct her whole face.
Whoa.
And they had to take skin off her leg and give her new skin. Yeah. And they had to wire up this and break this and push something up. Yo, it's all kind of...
How many times did it hit her?
I don't remember. I just hit her. Because all I heard was, I'm going to beat you up if you tell me not to walk on it. And I said, I'm going to kill her before she beat me up. And that's all I kept thinking, Ma. I got to be in here. I got to survive. I can't let everybody punk me in jail. First time locked down, so I put the packs down. But soon as I made bail, I was back downtown with the heels on my Timbs rubbed off from beating the pavement and searching for workers to step off. I couldn't be soft. I was a chick selling crack stage, strapped with a gap, not afraid to bust back. Had to watch my own back, cause brothers didn't like the fact that I sold mad cracks, so they tried to push my wig back. Yeah, they liked it when the raindrops were falling on my head. Now they wish I was dead.
When we come back, Ice Creame goes back to the streets.
Man, you know, for years I've been working hard on this music.
Ice Creame is a New York City hustler who is now spending time in prison for a drug-related offense.
I spent 367 days in the box, which is not good. The food,
That's more than a year.
yeah, the food, cold, they spit in it. The officers jerk off in it. Yeah, they just throw it to you on the floor. So I looked like I was on crack. I ain't gonna lie. The day they let me out, everybody in the jail was like, "You was smoking crack? You went home? Where you been?" I was like, "I was in the box." And I mean, I was like this,
Thin.
because I wasn't eating.
Very thin.
Yeah. And they took me to eat in the mess hall. The mess hall, you know, the kitchen.
Yeah.
And boy, I was asking, "You want that burger? You want that? Can I have that bread? Yo, give me that Kool-Aid. I drank it. Or give me the rest of it. Spit some back in there." I didn't care. Yo, I was so hungry. And they had these, we call them murder burgers. Some hamburgers like this big. And I had about 12 of them on my plate. And I was dead serious. I was going to eat all 12 of them. And the officer, "You have 5 minutes to eat." And it was almost 5 minutes, and the officer said, "Lopez," well, in America, my last name's Lopez. And he was like, "Lopez, empty your tray." And I'm like, "No way, I'm not finished. Could you line up everybody else, and then I'll be done by then." And she came, and she took the tray and snatched it and threw it in the garbage, and I snapped. I said, "Oh, hell no, you didn't." And I went in the garbage.
Was this the same day you came out?
Yeah. And I went in the garbage, took out the tray. The tray's of metal. And I looked, I said, "Miss Williams, you did not." And I hit her with the tray. Boom. Just throw my hamburgers in the, "Bitch, I'm hungry." And I just went crazy. And they beat me up again. But this time, I jumped inside one of the garbage cans. And I knew they was coming. And they dragged me back to the box. And I went back to court again. And the judge just was like, "There's something wrong with you, isn't there?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was hungry." And he was like, "No, mentally, do you have a problem?" And I was like, "No, Your Honor." He said, "You can't be serious." He said, "This is the second time I'm seeing you for the same thing." I said, "Last time it was a mop wringer. I just used the tray." But anyway, I broke her nose.
Okay.
And that's how I ended up doing 7 years.
Because they keep resentencing, and you kept
Just them
there,
two
7 years.
incidents. Man, like in the course of the 7 years, I did a lot of things in jail. I wrote music that was stolen from me. You know, that became 2 hit songs where I was told in court not to ever mention it. So, but I wrote music that was taken from me. I played myself.
Why were you told not to ever mention it?
Because I took them to court and they won because I was a jailbird and they wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And I was cool with that. I was like, "It's all right." And I had my little band. I had a band in jail.
Yeah, what was that called again?
De La Psych.
De La
That
Psych.
means
What
of
did
the
that
mind,
mean?
Of the
Okay.
mind. And we toured Rikers. Rikers Island is a big place. Rikers Island is about the size of Spanish Town.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to go touring from jail to jail, and the guys used to be like, "Hey, sing it again, baby!" And I used to be like, "I don't want to come here anymore." We had to sing it again anyway, and it was just cool to be in jail and do something positive. And I went to school.
Yeah, this was the first time you were doing something positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how did that make you feel, having wasted all your life doing something?
It made me feel like I had a purpose. You know, I felt like, wow, there's something other than selling drugs. And a lot of people tried to push me towards the music, but I don't think I was ready.
Okay.
I didn't suffer enough.
Yeah,
You know, they say you're not a true artist until you suffer.
okay.
And I didn't suffer enough, so
So you left Rikers,
yeah.
and what?
I went upstate to do my time, and the day I got released, this is why I never knew I was going to get deported. They usually snatch you on your release date, immigration, and there was nobody there. I left, I came home, I drank a beer, I saw my baby, and it was all about my daughter. And I was like, wow, she's getting big. She has those things, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, because
And
she was
she's
what,
like,
12,
"Mommy."
13 now?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and she's like, "Mommy, this boy," and I'm like, "What boy? No boy. No. I'm 36 now, and I'm still waiting for my mom to talk to me about sex. So you know, at that, I'm like, "No boy, what's a boy?" And I'm like, all right, let me get serious. So I tried to get a job. I got a job. I just didn't like the guy that told me what to do. That was my excuse to go back and hustle. So one day I just was like, you know what, you do this yourself, B, I'm out of here. He's like, yeah, you're a jailbird. You're gonna go back to jail. And I'm like, whatever. And I just left, and I went to see my peoples, and I was like, listen, give me a pack. And I was off to the races. And this time I was making real money now.
Next week, we learn how Ice Creame was shot and crippled from the waist down, her deportation to Jamaica, and how she eventually turned her life around.
And see a positive sign? Just keep that in mind. It's called safe sex or no sex. Use your latex every time you flex, or else you be vexed when you take your next blood test. And see a positive sign? Just keep that in mind. Now here's a little story, won't tell it too mean. It's about a dude you'd call a sex fiend, having sex without a condom, and he don't care, cause he knows he's infected and he wants to share. And what he's sharing isn't life, it's death, because HIV is a positive wreck. He got him down on their knees, they back, they neck. He know he's dying, he just says, what the heck? What can I do but die a slow death? But that's not true, man. I wish he'd see that all over the world there's help for HIV. But between you and me, it's called safe sex or no sex.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, turn on post notification to see